Originally, I was introduced to Marilyn, who is a financial advisor. Anton from Elite had introduced me to her, and from that point, we have developed a relationship. Since then, it's been great because I had left my previous firm. We were working 90-hour weeks. It was so backwards looking. We had a $10 million sale of one of our clients had sold their business for $10 million. There were things on the contract that we didn't understand. He said, we don't have time, just get the tax return done. So we showed this huge gain. They owed a ton of tax, and he didn't even tell them how much it was until the afternoon of April 15th. It was awful. And so when tax season was over, I said, we've got to change. And he said, I've been doing it this way since 1978, I'm not changing. And I said, oh, that's not gonna work. And so I left and I called my husband and I said, I'm quitting. He said, you're what? I said, I'm gonna quit. He's like, okay. He said, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. So, I was scared because I didn't have a team anymore, even to bounce tax questions off. I didn't have anybody left. And so then when I found out, that Elite had a team, so if I had a problem, or if I needed to understand these new things, they're going to be there for me. And it's increased my confidence so much. All I would see when the client would come in and I'd look at their tax return was, you're going to owe a lot of tax, and so I knew there were probably things that we should be doing, but I didn't know exactly what they were. I had no idea that they could be structured differently, that there was a thing called a floor offset and that they could put more money in for them if they raised their wages, and all of these types of things that, I thought I knew what it was, but I didn't until I started getting involved with the experts. Now I've got 4 different clients that are in the works right now. It's accomplishing what I wanted, was to make my clients' lives better, but now I have all the tools. Now I understand how to do it. I understand that if I don't know how to do it, I know the people now, which I never had before. Financial advisors seem to always want to open my book of business and suck out of it. So they think that if they send us a client that happens to have, a couple $1 million in a 401k, that they're sending us this great client. But when we get the tax return, they have a W-2 and they've just been setting money aside. So, it might be a $500 tax return for us, and the financial advisors think they're doing us this huge favor. And they really need to understand, it's got to be a business relationship. It's got to be something that we are working together on. And they also need to understand that we have to talk, because if they go and they do something crazy, like do a Roth conversion without talking to us about how that's going to affect anything, they may have screwed everything up, and they just don't reach out like they should. I would say that for every accountant that's considering this, it's hugely important, because compliance is not helping the client at all. It's something that has to be done. They pay us because they know it has to be done, but it doesn't make their lives better. And that's why we have our businesses, is because we want to make their lives better. We've got to sit back, look at our own businesses, become the real business people that we're telling our clients they should be, and say, what works for us, what works for them, how are we going to grow, how are we going to go into the next level. The same thing that we would be telling our clients, and we have to do it.